yeah, it was, and we always had police on the house for daftest of things. As some as daft as a wire trailing from the house to a garage. You know me, Lee, I've never once turned down an opponent or a challenge, so anybody that makes sense. I don't really want to go back and fight journeyman on a 6-rounder. I know my level, and I still believe that I'm right at the top in the domestic scene, at middleweight or super middleweight. So plenty of big fights to be made, like I said, and hopefully we can get them sorted. I hate the word celebrity or hate the word famous, or like, for me, I'm just Troy Williamson. I'm just one of the lads. So if I see somebody in the town that want to get a photo with me, like, yeah, I will get a photo. I'm not a dude.
The Fight Sponsors podcast is proudly sponsored by the DeVere Group, Stuart Piling and J.O. Sullivan Group. Delighted to welcome Troy Williamson to the Fight Sponsors podcast. How are you doing, Troy?
Yes, Lee, I'm all good, mate. Yourself?
Yeah, very well, thank you.
Good,
You've been
good.
training today?
Yeah, trained today, mate. I've been in twice today, and it's trying to get some sort of momentum going again, and getting the just getting some routine again. Been in the gym this morning and the boxing gym tea time. So feel
Brilliant.
good.
So what inspired you, Troy, to start boxing, and how did your journey begin?
So going back, I'm about 20. I'm 33 now, so going back 23 years ago, I went to the boxing gym when I was 10-year-old. Long time, feels a long time ago. First walked into the boxing gym when I was 10-year-old. At the time, obviously, I was too young to compete. You had to be 11-year-old to compete, so I was getting flung in sparring all the kids who were boxing. And to be fair, I didn't enjoy it. I wouldn't say I got forced to go, but my dad wanted me to go just to learn how to stick up for myself, me and my brothers. And back then, obviously, I couldn't compete, so I didn't really want to go to a gym, have hard spars when I wasn't getting nothing out of it for myself. So I left boxing, went and played football at the age of 11 until I was 16, and then a boxing gym opened pretty much around the corner from where I was living. So I walked back in when I was 16, turned 17 in 3 months, and I had my first fight after being in the gym for 5 months, and stuck at it ever since.
Excellent. So just going back there to the age of 10, what do you think was the real incentive, or why did you actually go to a boxing gym? Because I mean, obviously you just mentioned football. Maybe you could have started football then. What was your real, reason for going into that very first session in the boxing gym?
As daft as it sounds, I wanted to be Mike Tyson.
Right.
When I was 9, 10, 11 year old, I was a bit of a late developer as a kid, so I'm like 12, 13, 14 year old, but I'm like really a 10, 11, 12 year old, so I was always like a few years behind. So I wanted to be Mike Tyson. I used to write like Mike Tyson was here on the walls, like on, or do you know, with a chalk pen.
Right.
I used to like think or want to be Mike Tyson, so that really got me in the boxing gym. But yeah, I've always loved boxing, loved Mike Tyson growing up, Roy Jones Jr. growing up. But like you say, when I went to the boxing gym, I was too young, and I was sparring all these good kids. I was getting piercings, and I didn't enjoy it. So left boxing, went and played football, and really I should have stuck at football because it's a better way to make a living.
Yeah.
But I wasn't enough.
Yeah. So Mike Tyson was the reason why Troy Williamson made his first trip to the boxing gym.
Yes.
What did you like about Mike Tyson?
I loved everything about Mike Tyson. Still to this day. Obviously, you see, I've got the painting behind me. I love his aura. I love the way he carries himself. I love his confidence, and I love the aggressive style that he brought to the ring.
Very hard hitting professional boxer was Mike Tyson. Similarities to yourself, obviously. You've got 13 knockouts. You've obviously got serious power.
Yeah, I've had 14 knockouts in 20 wins.
Wow. I mean, some professional boxers never see that many knockouts throughout the whole career. So obviously it's fantastic that you've been able to achieve what you've done.
Yeah, it's good. I've had I've had a good career so far, but I believe there's still plenty to come. Yeah, so far I'm happy, and, but plenty to come, I believe.
So you're from Darlington.
Yes.
What was life like in Darlington for the young Troy Williamson?
Difficult because obviously I'm one of 11 kids. Um, and back in the day when we were growing up, my dad was the man in the town. Really. So obviously growing up, obviously I knew that we'd get all the backlash from obviously not that he was a bully or anything, but I used to get a lot of backlash from the police, just because I was whose son I was. Um, yeah, it was, and we always had police on the house for daftest of things. As Some as daft as a wire trailing from the house to a garage, just for music. We had about 4 or 5 police cars around with about 12 police officers just because they were coming to our house. So that little thing like that. So I think that's why my dad wanted me to get into the boxing gym as well, just because of all the backlash we were going to get, and just to be able to stick up for ourselves.
Was your dad a professional boxer as well, or was he?
No, he wasn't a licensed boxer. He's always trained, kept himself in good nick. Oh, yeah.
Was your dad a doorman, security, that kind
Yeah,
of?
he did work with us. He did work with us. I was too young to obviously know at that time, but yeah, he did work with us I don't know if I was born or when I was very young. So Darlington is tiny, like it's only a small town, so everybody knows everybody's business. So obviously everybody knew me dad back in the day, from Darlington and surrounding areas. So yeah, growing up was pretty tough. I was always like in my dad's shadow. I was like, oh, it's Vic's son or one of them really. But
Okay. What was school like, Troy?
school, you know what? I got expelled from school, but not because I wouldn't say I was a naughty kid. I was more of a class clown. Like when I was younger, obviously I needed glasses, so and I always used to like to sit at the back of the class. So while I'm at the back of the class, if the teacher got me to read some off the chalkboard back in them days, like I couldn't see the chalkboard, so I'd then play up for me to get kicked out of the lesson, rather than just say I can't see the board. But I was never really a naughty kid. I was just a class clown, and obviously it led to me getting expelled from school.
And how old was you when you were expelled?
I'd have been in year 10, so 15-year-old, and then from there I went to college and done like a key skills, um, sports science course. So I done like my MV. I've never done no GCSEs, but I done like my MVQ level 1 and 2, and me yeah things like that really.
Yeah, excellent. And can you tell me a little bit about your amateur career and how it helped shape your journey as a professional boxer?
Yeah, so obviously I boxed for Darlington ABC, Darlington Amateur Boxing Club. Overall, I had 58, 59 fights, and I think I won 42 or 43. Round over, then I think I lost about 16 fights. When in the novice under 10s, got beaten in the North East final by a kid who boxed from the gym that I train at now. When in the novice under 20s, got beaten in the final there, in the North East final. So I wasn't even getting out me region. And obviously I grew, developed, learn a bit of the game. Went in the senior ABAs, got to the final in 2014, got beat off Anthony Fowler. Because I reached the final, I got a GB assessment. The following year, I was seeded number 1. That's the year I won, 2015, won the senior ABAs. And then that same year, I won the GB's Tri-Nations. And yeah, obviously at this point, I'm boxing for GB, travelled around the world, boxing in numerous tournaments, picking up medals, and yeah, I had a decent amateur pedigree.
Fantastic. So the expelled Troy Williamson has really turned the situation around now, gone into obviously amateur boxing, really successful, plenty of fights. I take it was you knocking kids out as well in the amateurs.
Nah, Joe, I didn't really have that many stoppages as an amateur. Maybe, in 42, 43 wins, 4 or 5. Obviously, in the amateurs, it's like you've got head guards, you've got bigger gloves.
Yeah.
It's more like you're in and out, aren't you? Your feet fast hand, fast feet. So you're not really sitting down on your shots, and you've only got 3 rounds. So it's hard to get people out there. Look at the pros when you're fighting German over 4. It's if you can get a German out there in 4 rounds, then it's a bit of a big deal. So
And how would you describe your relationship with your family and the role they've played in your boxing career, Troy?
yeah, very good. We're all a close knit family. Like I said, there was 11 of us. I think my dad's got 31 grandkids, and we all see eye to eye. So it's good. I'm a real family man, so it's good to keep close with your family.
Absolutely. Now, if you'd not been a boxer, what do you think you would have been? A footballer?
I'd like to have been footballer. I don't really know, because once I started boxing, I put everything into boxing, so I didn't really look elsewhere really. Um,
Okay.
yeah.
What fight would you say in your professional career has been your standout moment? The one where you thought, right, I'm really pleased where I am now.
It's got to be obviously winning the British title. It has to be. Obviously, that was like a dream come true. When I first turned pro, I wanted to win the British title, and obviously for me coach Craig, like he's got an amateur club and he's won national titles from schoolboys all the way to the seniors, and he said that he'd always love to have a professional British champion, and obviously I was his first pro that he trained, and we got the British title. So that's obviously got to be the proudest moment of my career so far.
How did you feel going into that fight, Troy?
Felt supremely confident. Obviously, a lot of people were writing me off, but that's just because nobody had seen me box. Never had no airtime off my previous promoter. Never had no TV coverage, so nobody had seen me box. They've just obviously, and at the time, Ted Cheeseman was probably the name in British boxing. Everybody was talking about him, and just all the fights that he's had, not the fight of the year contenders that he's had. So yeah, everybody was backing me to lose. Even I had some friends that even backed against me to lose. So yeah, mad.
It was a fantastic fight. You hurt him on numerous occasions throughout the fight. A fantastic performance. And how did you feel when you actually become British champion?
Yeah, I felt unbelievable. Felt very good. Dream come true. So yeah, it was good. A huge feeling.
Where did the name Trojan come from?
You know what? Somebody else asked that previously, but when I first turned pro, I thought I need a big name, so I put it out there on Facebook as a status. And you know what Facebook is like. Everyone was commenting anything. Everyone There was that many comments. Like you can imagine. Like, but then I seen Trojan pop up and I thought, obviously, yeah, I don't mind that. Obviously, I looked at the story and it's got a story behind it. Obviously, the Trojan warrior, the Trojan horse, invaded the land of Troy in Greece, so made sense. Trojan warrior.
Did you have any nicknames at school?
Uh, Trucy.
Sorry?
Trucy.
Truce.
Troosy. Don't ask me why. Just still get it now. Don't ask me why. Truce or Trucy. My
And
brother coming out, my friends coming out, but don't have a clue what it means.
who's been to date your hardest hitting opponent?
My hardest hitting opponent would probably be, I think that would have been 7-0 due to box. I think obviously not a journeyman, and we got a last minute opponent. I think the guy called Ben Douglas from Nottingham. Um, he got drafted in within 24 hours. He came in about 13.5 stone, maybe 14 stone. He had one and no, one knockout. So I know I've had 7 fights, but he came win. He was no journeyman, and I remember him hitting me while I had my hands up, and I could feel it. So yeah, probably him. But he's not fought since I beat him. I stopped him in round 7. He was an 8 rounder, so he could dig.
Can you describe, Troy, a typical training day for yourself? Because I know we do see loads of like posts on social media. I think you actually love your training as well. You're always training. You're always in good shape. So yeah, can you describe like a typical training day for us?
Yeah, so obviously in camp it's pretty grueling really. I'll do a red zone running session on a morning, a treadmill session, um, just high intensity sprints with low rest. But so anybody who doesn't know about red zone running, you can find red zone running on social media, Instagram, Facebook. Just type in red zone running, it'll come up all the different all different levels as well, from beginner level to intermediate to elite. So got some really good running sessions on there. But obviously I'll do my sprint session, come home, chill, eat, sleep, and then back on the gym at 4 quarter to 5 tea time. Pads and bags or sparring. Either or. I only really train twice a day, with a lot of stretching. So
And
yeah, so,
what does your diet look like? Obviously, let's say before a fight.
yeah. Before I fight, obviously I was campaigning that super welterweight. So at that time when I was dieting, it was hell, hard work. You can imagine I walk around like 13 and a half stone, and that's like you said, I'm always in the gym, so I'm not like out there being a doctor or out there eating like complete shite. Do you know what I mean? I'm always like ticking over in the gym, but I walk around at like 13 and a half stone. So for me to get down to 11, it was grueling. It was unhealthy. It was an unhealthy place to be. To be fair, mind and body. But obviously, I've got no regrets because I chose to do it. I chose to do it for probably stayed at the weight a little bit too long, but again, I chose to do it, so there's no regrets. But yeah, eventually moved up now, and yeah, you're going to see a more healthier Troy.
How do you? Obviously, we've heard how you prepare physically for a fight. How do you prepare mentally?
Just I don't really like. I've got a really what's the word? I could probably count on one hand me close friends. So I just keep myself around close people. I've got a good set of family and friends. Just stay away from negative people. Just stay in my own lane, stay in my own bubble. Really.
So you keep yourself in a really quite a
Yeah,
positive, close knit environment.
yeah. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Just try and stay off social media as much as possible because social media is toxic. Like I'm in a couple of friends groups, so they're like you give them beef like every day. They're battling me, I'm battling them. So if I see stuff on social media like aimed at me, I don't take offence to it because they don't know me. If my close friends can give me grief and it doesn't really bother me, then who's John Jones going to give me grief? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh,
So staying off social media and having half a dozen positive friends.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, like when you're winning, everyone wants to be around you. So you get a lot of Klingons in this sport, and then obviously when you lose, you realise who's your close friends. So I've learned that. I've learned that in the past.
So what were some of the biggest challenges you faced in your boxing career, Troy, and how did you overcome them?
So some of the biggest challenges. Um, Probably I've gone to the Mason Cartwright fight. So I'm British champion. Um, Obviously going to a huge fight for my first title defence. Obviously fight week's just about to enter. Fight week's just about to enter, and somebody's obviously broken in my house. And obviously I realise all my ticket money's gone out my house. Obviously nobody knows this. 18 grand went out my house, ticket money. So before I could box, that £18,000 needs to be replaced. So I've had to put the £18,000 back out my own bank account, just to box. So I had to cover that bill. Went into the fight. Obviously, my head wasn't in the right place, as you can imagine. We had a hard fight. I got put down for the first time in my career, which I shouldn't have really got put down by. But again, that was probably down to the weight and obviously my mental state not in the right place. Um, so yeah, that was a hard challenge to overcome. Obviously, I got up, won the fight, by unanimous decision. So I had a lot of obstacles to overcome that night, and I did it, and I was proud of myself. But obviously, later on, I found out who went into my house and took the money, and yeah, didn't get it back. Never will get it back. But obviously, they're the sort of challenges that you've got to live with and got to overcome. So I've overcome it, moved on. I'm in a better place, and yeah, there's a rough one for you, Lee.
That must have been extremely challenging for you.
It was, mate. It was.
Somebody stealing £18,000 off you.
Somebody who at the time was, classed as close or very, very close, if you know what I mean.
Mm.
Would never have thought it would have been that person in the slightest, but now you think you know somebody, but obviously you don't. It's fucking, that was just like a toxic person I had in my life at the time, and good riddance to them.
To be able to dust yourself down fight week with that kind of a problem to deal with is fantastic. To even turn up, I'm sure a lot of fighters would have backed out at that point and not took the
Yeah.
fight.
Well, I'm 18k out of pocket now, so.
Yeah. So how do you approach developing a strategy for a particular opponent? Do you like analyze the past fights?
Yeah, but to be fair, I probably only look like 1, 2, 3 fights back at the most, and I'll probably only watch it like 2 or 3 times. I won't like over analyze anything. Once I've seen somebody box, I've seen them box. If that makes sense. I don't like watch and watch and watch and watch and watch. Once I've seen them box, pretty much know like what to expect. So
Right. So you'd watch a few fights, basically study their style within them fights,
yeah,
and then you know what you need to do.
yeah.
Excellent. So how do you cultivate mental toughness, Troy?
I'll go. What? Sorry.
How do you cultivate mental toughness, especially during difficult rounds or challenging matches?
Yeah, just you got to just try and stay focused. Obviously, you got to have a good team in the corner who don't panic and can keep calm and keep you calm. So it's just about listening to my corner team, keeping calm. Don't let frustration overrun it, which it's easily done. If you're losing a fight and you can't get nowhere near close and you're frustrated, you just got to like bide your time. Just try and stay as cool as possible.
Now, injury, obviously, management can be a significant part of an athlete's career. How do you handle injuries, Troy, and recover from them?
You know what? They've been a walking injury for the past 5 or 6 years. It's just your body's not meant to be getting punched in the face for a living or punching bags for a living, is it? So you can imagine obviously the wear and tear it does to your body. I've been at it for what now? First amateur fight 2008, so been at it quite a long time now. So I've been punching every single day, pounding the roads, running. Yeah, you've got to try and manage them yourself, or see physios, massages. You've got to try and manage it. But I've never once been like fully injury free, really, going into a fight, win or lose. So
So there's always some niggling little injury you've got.
yeah, there's always some niggly little injury, but that's probably the same for me opponent or same for every other boxer.
Yeah.
I like everybody who I've spoken to. I don't think nobody's been 110% going into a ring. But like you say, you get in there and you adapt.
Who's been your biggest influence or role model in boxing and why?
In boxing,
Yeah.
uh, my biggest influence role model in boxing, probably Mike Tyson. Again because he at one time he had it all at his feet, then he blew it all, went to jail, got accused of this, got accused of that. Hit rock bottom, then came back, hit rock bottom again, and like now he's back. Now he's living a good life. Or looks like he's living a good life. So yeah, it looks like a good dude. I'd love to meet Mike Tyson. Like so,
Have you ever met him? Well, obviously you've
I've
met
never,
him.
no.
And what's your aspirations for the future, both in and out the ring, Troy?
Well, I believe that there's plenty of big fights being made. And out the ring, I'd love to. Like, I love helping people. I love giving back. So like whether that's giving back to boxing kids or just helping kids in general. I love helping kids. Is like I've just said there. My dad's got 39 nieces and nephews, so I'm always around kids. And yeah, I just love being trying to be a great role model to them. What I needed when I was a young kid. So yeah, that's me. That's my passion. Just trying to help the kids.
Excellent. And obviously, from a fight perspective, do you have any fights lined up, or how does the next 12 months look for Troy Williamson with
Yeah,
fights?
so I've got no fights lined up. Obviously, there have been a few names mentioned, a few dates mentioned, but I'm not in the gym at the minute. I'm just taking over. One day it was for June. Well, next week, June 7th, a show in Newcastle because they obviously know that I can I'm a big ticket seller. So if they want a big show up in Newcastle, get me on, get me a good opponent, sell the places out for you. So it's looking like September, October. I'd be ready for if anything came up then. So next 12 months for me, if I did get out this year, would be could be huge. Could be huge. I know I'm coming off a few losses now, but don't write me off. I'll be back, and I'll be back better than ever.
Who would you like to fight next?
Who would I like to fight next? Well, me, Lee. I've never once turned down an opponent or a challenge. So anybody that makes sense. I don't really want to go back and fight journeyman on a 6 rounder. I know my level, and I still believe that I'm right at the top in the domestic scene, at middleweight or super middleweight. So plenty of big fights to be made, like I said, and hopefully we can get them sorted.
What advice, Troy, would you give to aspiring boxers, young athletes looking to pursue a career in boxing?
Look after your body like it's a temple. You can't put what's the old saying? You can't put fucking can't put petrol in a diesel car. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So look after your body and give it 110%. Don't cut no corners. Listen to your coaches and stay away from negative people.
excellent. And how has boxing impacted your life outside the sport?
And obviously, it's kept me humble and it's kept me grounded. Um, Impacting my life out the sport. Um, don't want to obviously fucking blow my own trumpet, but obviously a lot of people now know who I am. Like when I was a kid, obviously I could have easily went down the wrong road, and I might not be like tell you this story. I could be in jail or anything. So where I was brought up, like I could have easily went that way. So it's impacted my life just in that sense. Just it's put me on the straight and narrow. It's given me a better life.
Fabulous. So you do think it's really put you in a place where you probably wouldn't have been in without boxing?
Yeah, definitely 1,000,000%.
That's fantastic, that. 'Cause it's so easy, isn't it, for people to go down the wrong path in areas where there's plenty of opportunities for them to have done so.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. Um, like obviously there was four. My mum's got 4 boys, so there was four of us grew up in a house over a little place called Furthermore, the Love Council Estate. Could have easily went the wrong way, all 4 of us, but obviously we're all well mannered, all polite guys, being brought up the right way, and we're all doing well for ourselves.
Did you have many like street fights as a kid in the local area?
Yeah, when I was a kid, in school and things like that, but not now as an adult.
Good.
I don't know.
Now, I'm curious about the role that sponsorships have played in your career. Obviously, we've worked together on this.
Yeah.
How would you say they've influenced your journey in the sport?
Oh, huge because people, like you say, people don't see that side of the game. You only get paid when you box. You're only boxing once, twice a year. You're not getting massive amounts of money. You're not like only 3% of the boxers probably are like the Tyson Furies or the AJs. So if you're not getting paid massive amounts of money, you can't hold down a full time job. Then sponsors really do help. With traveling, training, sparring, gym equipment, your nutrition, you name it. The cover, like obviously the sponsor I've had that you helped me get. they've covered it all, and it has made the journey a whole lot easier.
Can it be expensive then for you as a boxer?
Well, imagine going up and down the motorway every single day training on a morning, then obviously tea time. So you're going up 1, 2, 3. You're going up like 4 times every day. It's like 5, 6 days a week. Then you got your sparring. If you're gonna spar down the country, there's not really any elite sparring in the northeast, so you've got to travel. So if you're staying over down Liverpool or Manchester, you got to think you're travelling there, and then you're booking up to stay down there. Then you got your nutrition isn't cheap. You've got your running gear, your boxing shoes, your boxing gloves, your boxing wraps. It's endless. It's absolutely endless. You got your brain scan, you got your bloods that you have to do annually. That's like £800 a year. Nobody helps. No, like it all comes out of your own pocket. So with sponsors, I'm very grateful for the sponsors that I've had, and very grateful for the sponsors that will continue to sponsor me and follow my journey.
Excellent. How would you like to connect with your fans, Troy? And what role do they play in your career?
Obviously, you can find me on social media. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram. But like if I can get there and I can meet my supporters. I love to do that. Love to meet them, give them a handshake, and meet them face to face, and just thank them personally. But obviously, it's hard when you've got like followers from down the country, and I've got followers abroad who fly over and watch me box. So yeah, I'm just grateful for the support that I've got.
Because you are very popular. I mean, obviously, we've met a few times in Darlington, and the amount of people that come up to you, shaking your hand, and maybe looking for an autograph, that kind of thing. You're a popular guy. So obviously, your training, your career, everything has really made you a bit of a local celebrity, which you could have easily gone down another path. Which obviously, boxing has had a massive impact on your life.
Yeah, definitely. But you know what, Lee? Like I hate the word celebrity, or I hate the word famous, or like for me, I'm just Troy Williamson. I'm just one of the lads. So if I see somebody in the town that want to get a photo with me, like yeah, I will get a photo. I'm not lewd, and I won't say no. But I don't look at myself like that. I just look at myself as one of you. No, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm not a celebrity. I'm not famous. Not to me, anyways.
So boxing has kept you humble as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, of course, definitely. I've kept my feet on the ground. I'll never forget I started or where I come from, and I'll never forget that those that were around when I had nothing.
Brilliant. And how do you see the sport of boxing evolving in the next few years, Troy?
I think it's just getting bigger and bigger, especially with these the Saudis getting involved. Jake Paul, I've just seen signing all the women, so it's getting big. It's gonna get even bigger. I'm excited.
And what do you envision for your life after boxing? And how are you preparing for that transition?
I'm not preparing yet.
Hmm.
Obviously, I've got a lovely little family there. I've got my missus and I've got my little son. Um, so yeah, just spending a lot of family time, chilling.
Excellent. Excellent. Obviously, your son. How old's your son now, Troy?
19-month old he is now. Just time's flying. He's getting bigger by the day. It's mad.
That's whizzed by that time.
Yeah, it's mad. He'll
Do
be
you think?
two now.
Do you think the birth of your son has changed your outlook on life?
Yeah, definitely because I've spent I've spent some stock of money on a load of shite back in the day, but now I think obviously now I've got my son to have to spend my money on him, take him away and things. So yeah, definitely it's give me a better outlook on life. It's taught me a lot as well.
Fabulous. Do you engage in any community work or like outreach related to boxing? If so, can you share some experiences?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Yeah, like any community like initiatives, schools, because I know you've done a few little bits
Yeah,
with.
well, obviously, like I do a bit of work with a company called Evolve. And obviously that's just going to local schools and having a talk with the kids, giving the kid a boxing session, giving the kids a boxing session, and yeah, they're growing massively as well. They've got sites in obviously Yorkshire, North East, Barrow and Furness. Um, it's getting huge. Evolve. So yeah, I do love to do it. I do love to, like I said, I like to give back if I can. So I don't mind going and speaking to these naughty kids who have been kicked out of school because I can sort of relate to them. I've been in that position when I got kicked out of school and I went to college. So I enjoy doing things like that.
Excellent. Right, Troy. Well, it's been fabulous having you on the Fight Sponsors podcast. And you really are a fantastic example of, a young man basically getting his life on track, not going into crime and focusing in on professional boxing. So
Yeah.
well done on your achievements so far.
Still trying, mate. Still trying.
British champion, that fight against Ted Cheeseman. I still watch it now. And I think a lot of people have a lot of respect for what you've achieved in professional boxing. So thanks for taking the time out, Troy.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Thank you
again
again.
soon. Take care.
Cheers, Paul.
If you find our content interesting and you want to stay updated with our latest episode, consider subscribing to our podcast. Thanks for your support and for tuning in.